Okay. Yeah, so just make sure y'all come home straight today after. Or if you want to have Jonathan just drop you off at the shop, that's great. You come here. I'll probably be going back and forth. If you want to go to the store today to get your stuff, Jalen, we can do that. Friday is upon us. So we gotta be moving. Okay, is she just gonna take you shopping? Okay, all right. Good. Let me know. She here. Shalom, everybody. Jamia, Anita, Set Apart, Audrey, Mom. Shalom, shalom. I'm trying to bring in Facebook, y'all. Okay. Is my oh? Sometimes Facebook be tripping. Take away my button. That's it. What? Well, I'm sorry, son. You gotta get your hair done. I'm sorry. You can't go with us looking like that. Okay. I mean, you can, but everybody with their hair done. Elijah, shalom, shalom. All right, beautiful people. Happy Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. Just this a little more. Okay. Try to not have the light so bright in the back. Okay. Happy Wednesday, beautiful people. We are at a milestone, right? A milestone number that Oahspe uses a lot, right? Today it is August the 31st, 2022, day 200. Day 200. Remember the resurrections, 200, 400, 600, 1,000, all that. Y'all get it, right? You've been here, you get it. It is day 200 of year 4, reading through the books of the law and the prophets, and of the 4-year consecutive day count, day 1,218. Today we're picking back up in the book of Sapphire on page 538 with the Kadeth is Qadeth space IZ, right? Or deviant seal, see plate 10. All right, beautiful people. So, Father, you are the unseen force behind the vortexes above and the vortexes below and the vortexes within us and our souls. All right, Kindred, shalom, shalom. Let's go to plate 10 real quick. It's a see plate 10. And just go to the 10, the divine seal, page 262. Okay. This is plate 10 on page 262. Right here. Voila. Okay. All right, so hop back to page 538 and let's begin. Hold on. I should have kept the page. What did I say? 262? This is the last page right before book of Spencer Amish, daughter of Jehovah. Okay.
I've been hearing that name too many times. Spencer Amish.
You heard that name? I mean, you heard me say, you hear somebody else say it?
No.
You just kept on hearing it. Like hearing it within you?
Like if somebody was just saying it out loud at random spots.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like you hear people in random spots say that name.
You know how somebody called your name in public, but nobody called your name?
Mm-hmm. Oh, so you just heard it within you, or I get what you're saying. I get it. Interesting. Okay, foot. I'm trying to double check. This looks. I see a hand. It's a foot. I see a foot.
Are you calling me, John?
I'm not sure. Hold on.
What?
The
Are
birds.
you reading these signs?
I am. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm supposed to, if we're supposed to be looking back and forth with this plate 10 for this Sefer Scroll of Book. I'm not seeing the type of order. Do me a favor. I know it's kind of dark. Cut this light on right here. Is 10 house? Okay, I see a house. Okay, house, rich country, by evil, heart. Hold on. 1, 2. I think. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so I think we're supposed to be reading along with this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so it's 10 rows back on here on page 262, the Divine Seal plate 10. Okay, so it's numbered. The columns are columns of 6. It's rows, columns 1 through 10. And so for verse 1, all of the icons in all 6 boxes in the first column is all the 6 in verse 1. Okay. So the first one is a house, and that's na or knock, house. Next one, Shoah, rich country, looks like a country in a circle on a line. The next one is Sam or 3 sacred lights. Hold on. No, I'm sorry. I didn't skip. Okay. Let me just read it. Na or knock, house. Shoah, rich country. Ba, evil. Aman, steadfast. Eden, foundation. Sam or the 3 sacred lights. Thus, Sam, 3 or light. Okay, so the Sam or the 3 or light is the last one. You can clearly see it's a candle stand with 3 lights. So go back up. It's a house. It's a country for rich country. You got a snake for evil. Remember, his right? Anything dealing with evil, the symbol is a lot of time a snake or different variations of the snake. Under that, under Eden, foundation, it looks like a stool or chair with 2 legs. The one under that is, wait, no, I'm sorry. I skipped one again. Okay, by evil. That one that looked like a stool is not the foundation. That's actually a man. AMAN, a man, steadfast. Under that, oh, you good. Under that, it looks like for the foundation, maybe it's a rock, but it kind of to me looked like a stack of pancakes, but it represents foundation. And under that is Sam, the 3 lights. Okay, so column 2. All right, son. Jonathan out there. All right. Remember your time today. All right, the second column, it starts with a heart, right? So let me see. It's a heart, a foot, a piece of clothing, a face. No. Yeah, it looks like a face. No, well, it does. Looks like a face, but it's really a nipple. It says dad, DAD, and the definition for that is breast. It looks like a face or a breast, nipple pointing this way. Okay, so let's read it. The first is a heart, la'ab, heart. The second one down is a foot, that's regal, foot. The third one is begged, BE, apostrophe, GED, and that's clothing. It looks like a garment. The next one is a nipple, and that's dad, which means breast for this plate. The next one is gad ta'ah. Go ahead. So the next one down is a finger or hand pointing in this direction, right? And it says Gata, Gata, the hand showeth the way as this tablet showeth, i.e., this is my hand. The next one is also a hand, but it's the left hand because the thumb is up here and it's pointed in this direction, right? Hold on, with the arm extended a little bit. So it's like this. Hold on. You see like this portion of the hand right here. And that is Ekef, Ekef, palm of the hand. All right, the third column down, it starts with what looks like another snake, like with a tongue hissing motion going in this direction, in the left direction, right? And that is a bad, and that means destruction. The second one down is also a face, a side profile of a face pointed to the left, and that is Edam, E''DAM, which means man. The next one is a picture of eye. Yeah, it looks like an eye and something under it. Maybe it looks like kind of like two eyes, but above one another, one at the top, one at the bottom. But it means, well, it's A-N, A''YIN, as an eye. Also, it means to perceive. Set apart. Shalom, shalom. Audrey, shalom. Wait. Oh, back to the stack of pancakes. Look. Girl, I know what you're talking about. Look, I just said I'm trying to fast, so it instantly looked like a hamburger, shaking my head. They look like pancakes to me. Hana shalom. Miss Amazing Wonder, shalom, shalom. Okay. The next one in column 3, under the eye is so Ozen, O''Zen, and it said it looked like it's an ear. It actually looked like a woman to me, like with this shoulder, like the dudes back in like the 80s, like she got that jank, she just got it hooked up, shaved on the side, bumped out curl right there with a jacket on. That's what it looked like to me. But they say that's an ear. Look like the salt and pepper. Salt or pepper, right? Look, you know how they had their hair back in the 80s with the big earrings. That's what it looked like, salt or pepper to me. But they said that's an ear. Ozen, ear. It means to hear. Okay, the one under that is Taf, TAF, family. And that looks like another side profile of a face. This time the eye is included. The second one in this column above it, it just had like from the nose down here. This one you have the forehead all the way down to the chin, facing in the left direction. And that's Taf, TAF, family. And then the last one is from like the middle part of the nose, still facing in this direction, a side profile, this part of the nose with the eye going up to the head, and you can see the hair, right? And that is Resh, head. We're familiar, Hebrews familiar with these terms, right? And Resh. Okay, so the fourth column starts with the bird, also pointed in a direction of the left. If you're looking at it, it says off, the birds or feathered tribes. The next one down looks like a picture of a man, and that's labashed, to be clothed. Okay, so okay, so if you go back to column 2 and you go down to number 3, that's an item of clothing. This particular stick figure actually has on this item of clothing. So that piece of cloth in column 2 represents clothes, being clothed. So this man in column 4, number 2, is labashed, to be clothed. The next one down, it looks like a stick figure man colored in, holding 2 shields out to the side, right? Look like he's holding 2 shields out to the side. And that is Toph, Timbrel. So maybe it's tambourines or something. That's Toph. Also psalmist. And after psalmist, there's a reference to letter H. And go to the end of the chapter for the letter references. And H says, in those days, words and tunes were both extemporized at the time, and the timbrel or Toph was the accompaniment. Accompany me. It accompanied. It accompanied. Let's go back. After the man with the two tambourines, timbrels, it looks like a face facing you with two horns coming out the head. And that is mitzvah, the enforced law, the established, the authority of judgment. Okay, I was just making sure that wasn't a part of this one. Okay, the next one, to me, it looked like a pig face, but it also kind of looked like a clown, right? But that's An, conceit, the hidden enemy in one's own heart. So let's go with clown, right? The hidden enemy in one's own heart. They were puffed up in their conceit and would not hear. And the last one for this, it's the circle with a cross or the separation, which makes four boxes within a circle. And each one actually looks like the seasons. You have a plant growing up here on the top left side. The top right, it looks like a leaf. The bottom left, it looks like it's falling over. And the bottom corner really looks like a fish to me. But that's our baggy bull, and that represents the four corners of the world. Key, Kii, key. All right, so the fifth column, Sefer, a scroll, book, or tablet. The next one is what you call them? It's a bird or like a pelican. It looks kind of like a pelican, facing the left direction with a stick or a line behind its head. And that is Aven Ibi, the belief that man was once a bird. All right, hold on. Hold on. Okay, that's one. That's two. That's three. Okay, 4, 5. I got that wrong. Olive. This is, man. I think I'm running two of them together. Hold on. Philosophy. Okay, so maybe this is not one all. I think this is part of the Avinity. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I got it. Okay, let's start back at the top of 5. 5 is a scroll, is Sefer, scroll, book, or tablet. The next one is that bird with the stick line behind its head. And that's Aven Ibi, the belief that man was once a bird, the worship of certain birds because it was believed man sprang from them, hence Aven Ibi, the idolatry of birds, the philosophy that led to the idolatry of animals. And then so you got the next one, which looks like maybe like a llama, and his head. It's like pointing in this direction, but the head is turned back here with the two ears coming up. And that is a Heba, the adorable love. The next one down is looks like a Hebrew letter. What's that? A resh, I think. Don't quote me. But it's the letter like that. It looks like a backwards R. And that's Yasha, upright. The next one down is looks like another Hebrew letter a little bit, but it looks like a, a scripted X, right? So instead of just a straight X like that, it's curved and it's curved here, right? So that's Aleph, foremost. And the last one in column 5 is a vessel, but it's man or maun, Maun, and it means a vessel, hence the picture of a vessel, a picture that you can put drink in. Okay, column 6 looks like some kind of animal, right? Some kind of animal, but it kind of look evil with horns. Maybe its ears sticking up. Look like it got two tails. It got two legs. You can see the body of it, and maybe it's a feather, or maybe it's two tails. But anyway, whatever that is Rao, R-A apostrophe O, the evil, the entity evil. As Ra, death is to mortal things, so is Ra-O to spiritual. The next one down is an old time lamp, right? It's like a small it's like a small bowl with this handle right up here, and you put a candle in it. That is Mira or Myra, a lamp. The next one down is just like across the middle of the circle is like a squiggly line, right? And that is Mequitso, angular corner. The next one down looks like a bird with its, okay, it looked like two birds for real. It looked like a walking bird or animal with its head down like this. And it looked like it's another bird almost in the shape of a V that's coming down on its head. It's walking and it's hitting down on its head like that. That is Cartugnuan, magician, one with familiar spirits. Oh, okay. I can see that. Something's following you around, hitting you down. I can see that. I can see what it's like that. Okay. The next one down is Makateroth, a utensil for burning incense. And it looks like well, actually looks like maybe it's like the picture of a man doing like this, but it's like that with the two maybe candle holding things or something or whatever, but that's what it looked like. It's a line. It also kind of look, okay, you know what a seesaw looks like, right? With the base, and you got the line on top of it, and two people sitting right here teetering tottering. It looks like a seesaw. That's a better depiction of it. Looks like a seesaw. This end is kind of up a little bit, this side is down a little bit, and on top of this end it looks like a closed box, but this end is open, so it's like a hook. It's not completely closed like this side, is kind of like open. Okay. Or like this and this, if you can see me. Okay. That's a makurtara, an utensil for burning incense. Okay. And the last one is a masak, to ascend. And that one looks like maybe like a ladder to the left, and a man facing the ladder. Maybe not a ladder, but something you can climb. It has rungs on it. It looks like a what you call it, Jank? And well, if you're not familiar with Egyptology, the let's not use that. It's a it's a pole with line. Okay, so it's a pole with line with rungs going up that you can climb. So that's to the left, and to the right, it looks like a man trying to trying to climb up it, trying to climb up it, trying to climb it. Okay, and so massage has reference number 20 after it, and at the bottom it says nasag. Okay, column 7. It starts. It looks like there's two figures in there. It looks like a woman and maybe a man or a younger child, maybe. Okay, so the woman, it may be a woman. It kind of look like Predator from the side. You know how it got the long head? That's what it look like. It got the, let's just call it a woman, because it looked like breast, the way the figure is. Look like she's sitting down facing to the left with her hair coming back. And there's a figure, maybe it's a man or somebody standing up rejoicing, or maybe somebody trying to run away. But there you can clearly tell they're standing up, they're either jumping or they're running. And that is what? No, I'm looking at the wrong one. 7. Tekias. It has reference number 21 at the bottom, and it says tekia. And that is supplication. Okay, maybe the woman sitting down is praying or something. I don't know. Okay, but that means supplication. The next one, it looks like a eye. Actually, it looks like a flying eye. I mean, it doesn't have wings. Looks like, y'all probably ain't seen that movie. Okay, so it looks like an eye with, okay, so say my whole head is the eye, right? And it has two things coming out the side like this, like a flying machine. It looks like that. And that is Oahspe, storehouse against famine. Also a place for treasures. But also under it, it has like it's a square, like a, say this is the figure, the eye, and under it, it's like a square directly under it, and a little line over here. But that represents storehouse. That looks like something. I just can't figure out the name of it. Okay, so the next one down, 3 in column 7, 2, also place of trust, is Raka, kingdom or king and his people, and that is like a right angle with two lines. It actually looks like a F with extra line sideways. So you know what F looks like? Take the F, turn it sideways where it looks like this. The F, but add another line beside it. And that is Raka, kingdom or king and his people, or father and his family. The next one down, it's two figures. Looks like the one to the left looks like an arrowhead with a circle on the top of it. And the one to the right of that actually maybe looks like let's call it a devil's head. It's like a neck with a head and two horns, or it could be like the head of a llama or something like that. Just so you can get, if you don't have the book, so you can see how the ears are sticking up. Or you know how some dogs' ears stick straight up, they don't flop down. It looks like possibly an animal head, but that is a boda, to labor or to make brick. Also, brick dried in the sun, a doda. Okay. The next one is zimar, and that looks like a maybe a chair to the left. Like this is the back, this is the seat, this is the legs. Then it looks like an arrowhead or a sideways triangle with the top point of the triangle pointed to the right direction. And it looks like an axe with the axe head also facing this direction. So if you were going to chop right, it's facing that direction. That is Zamar, music, written notes of. And the next one down, it looks like an arrowhead with the axe head facing this way to the left. And it looks like a stethoscope, a Y, and the tips of each line are a little thick and circular, and that is knapsack, chief musician. Okay. Column 8, we have a pot, and it's a souk, a pot. The next one is a person facing the right, and it looks like a shield, and that is barzel or tubal, iron. The next one down looks like a door with a window. It actually looks like a doctor's office window. It's a door. a door. You know how some doctor's offices, they have that long skinny window in the middle. Maybe you go down to the nurse's office in elementary school and they got this rectangular piece of glass where you can look and see if the nurse in there or see what child's sitting in there. That window is connected to the end. So it's like a left angle at the going from the top down to the middle of the door. So it looks like it's a window on this side. And it's two plus signs, a plus sign over here and a plus sign to the left. And that is Oscar, Oskagar, sun, moon, and stars as a whole. The next one looks like a triangle with a circle, look like a skinny triangle, darkened in, colored in, with a circle on top, which is not colored in, and three colored in dots going to the right. And under it, there's another circle. It's outlined dark, but it's not fully colored in. So you can see the dark outline of the circle, and it's clear on the inside. And that is Pinnac, summer and winter. Hold on. Did I skip one? One, two. I did. Go back up. I'm off one. Amanda Shalom, the Bronze Report, the Bronze Yoga Report. Shalom. Belinda Brown, hey girl, hey. Go back up. I read number 2, but I skipped it and gave you the definition of 3. Let's go back up. Y'all forgive me. Okay, so the first one, a souk, is a pot, right? We can clearly see that's a vessel, a pot. The second one down with the man facing the right direction with the shield, that's where I got off. That is Yatsar, that's a potter, right? So apparently that's a pot, not a shield. The one down where I described the door with the window and the plus sign on the right and the left, that is Barzel or tubal iron. The next one down after that with a skinny triangle colored in, circle not colored in, touching the top of the triangle, the 3 colored in dots here, and a darkly outlined circle at the bottom that's not colored in. That is Oskagar, sun, moon, and stars as a whole. That makes sense, right? With the stars, sun, moon. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, Oskagar, sun, moon, and stars as a whole. Under that, it actually looks like a uterus at the bottom. If you look, you have the ovaries and the tube connecting the ovaries down to the cervix. That's what it looks like at the bottom. Looks like a cervix, and it looks like looks like some kind of head at the top of it, and it's darkened in, right? It's like pointing in this direction, maybe like with a helmet, almost kind of remind me like of a ram. It looks like a ram's head darkened in. That's what it looked like. Okay. And that is Gu Satuin. I'm still off. Hold on. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I thought I was reading. How did I get off? Okay. The first one is a pot, a souk. The second one, Yatsar, potter. The door with the plus signs, Barzel or tubal iron. The fourth one with the triangle, the sun, moon, and stars, that's Oskagar, sun, moon, and stars as a whole. Okay, I see where I got off. The one that looks like the uterus and a ram head is Panak, summer and winter. Okay. And then the last one, it looks like an X at the bottom with a dot to the right side. It looked like a sideways T with the top of the T colored in, but the base or the trunk of the T, the long part is not colored in, and that's sideways. And above it, it looks like a colored in axe head with the axe head facing down like you're about to chop down. My explanation of these pictures. And that symbol is Gusa Tuin, Out of all things comes some good. Okay. Column 8, Pinac. Thank you. I figured out the net. Thank you, Pinac. Column number 9, verse 9. We're on page 539, y'all. We on page 539, and we're going back and forth to plate 10 on page 262, which is the divine seal. Okay. So the first one, it looks like a bowl of ice cream that's lechin, bread or bread basket or food basket. The second one down, it looks like a hand, but it looks like a hand coming up from the left side like this, like look like a snake, somebody gonna bite you. It with a plus sign, or that it actually looks more like an X under the hand. So a hand like this with an X under the hand, and that is a sin, evil hand, or power to cast spell. The next one is a foot, with a foot facing the right direction with a star or an asterisk. It looks more like an asterisk, like an asterisk with an asterisk over the top part of the foot close by the toenails, and that is a sogin, evil foot, or power to walk around one's house and so cast evil on the house and the family. The next one down is Eoten, and that is, it looks like a hollow cross with a beehive coming up from the bottom. Okay, so the cross, it's not, none of the lines are connected, and neither is it colored in. So it's like 4 corners, right? So it's like the top part of the cross is like this with the space, this portion right here, this portion right here, and this portion right here. So it looks more like a 4-way road, right? Direction, so you can come straight down and you can turn in any other directions, right? Y'all get it? It's a cross, but it's not colored in. It's hollowed out. None of the ends or the lines are connecting. Right under it, the bottom open part of the cross sits right on top, slightly so ever to the left of the beehive. The beehive is coming up from the bottom, and the bottom of the cross is sitting over. It's not sitting directly on it. It's just over a little bit like that. And beside that, it looks like a key, those ancient keys, like the skeleton keys. It looks like the bottom of the key with the two, the portion that you stick in the keyhole. You can see the stem of the key with the two key pieces to stick in the hole, but you can't see the skeleton head part of the key. That part is coming out. So that is Eoten, the all provider, the sign of offering. The next one down, number 5, it looks like a man colored in, or it could be a female. It's a figure of a person colored in, and they look like they got a boat or a canoe on their head. You know how people walk, they want to go canoe and they got their canoe on their head. That's what it looked like. And he looked like he holding it like this, and he's either stopped, squatted down, or maybe he's just in stride moving. But I don't see a second leg. They try just probably close together. So that is Hodan, angel visitation. Nope, sorry, go back. It's Edan, prophecy. Okay, and the next one is the picture looks like a ankh in the middle to the top a little bit, and it looks like a person that's walking, maybe like under the ankh or trying to get by, and that is Hodan, angel visitation, or the manner of prophecy. All right, y'all. Last column, column 10, which is also the last verse in this chapter, Kadeth is. All 6 pictures in a column is in the one verse. Okay, so 10, it looks like it's a circle with a line and a city darkened in, right? And that is Idama, country, or the earth, or the lands. The next one is a cross with X's going across the top, one at the left corner, one at the right corner. It's in a form of a cross, but it looks like a signpost, right? And it's hollowed out. It's outlined darkly, but so you got the two intersecting lines, right? So the line in the back looked like it has a sign or a rectangular sign going across the top of it to where you can see the this part of the cross all the way through without any kind of break in it. This one, the one standing up in the back, this look like it's set to the back where it looks like there's where you like just like my hand, you can see my arm coming all the way across, and this portion is behind my hand. It looks just like this. So the only part of the back post of the cross that you can see is the top and this part, but going straight through it, this line, you can see that all the way through, right? So that's solid. So it looks like it's a signpost with a rectangle sign attached to it. So you can only see the top and the bottom part of the wood post of the part of the cross in the background. Okay. And that is Eloah, Jehovah. The one under it, it looks like there's 4 items inside that circle. The one at the bottom looks like a paper crane. You know, the papers that you fold, you see like in some of the Chinese shows or whatever, they fold in paper cranes. Looks like a paper crane at the bottom. This one over here, it looks like a spaceship from the movie, or you seen Independence Day, right? Independence Day, the huge alien ship look like a triangle, but it's got a little design at the bottom. Looks like that. At the top part, it looks like maybe a pair of pants, but the spaceship portion cut off the left side of the leg. So you look like shorts. It looked like shorts on the left side, but a full pair of pants on the right side. And then there's a stand, maybe a microphone stand, maybe a podium or something with a microphone sticking out the top. Trying to explain it the best way I know how. That's what it looked like. Looked like a stand like with the foot at the bottom, the base at the bottom, and it has this look like a podium where a person can come lean on it right here, and it looks like there's a microphone sticking out of it. That's what it looked like to me. Okay, and that is one, two, Bara, BA''RA, the created world. Space, clothes, crane, speak. Oh, I mean, I can see it. The next one looks like a you know what it looks like? It looked like that one, it looked like that picture in column 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remember what I said it looked like some kind of animal bird scrunched down like this, another bird coming on top of his head. It looked like that same exact picture, except for it's just the head. You don't see the whole body. It's just the head and it's facing this way. And that same bird is coming down on its head. But this time the wings of the bird is not all squiggly lines. There's solid lines still coming down on the head. And that is Ophel, darkness. The other one with the whole body, that was magician. Was it magician? Evil? Was it 6? Yeah, magician. One with familiar spirits. Okay, so this Ophel, darkness, or hold on. Yeah, Ophel, darkness. And the next one, it looks like a could be possibly maybe like a sea of water, maybe some kind of animal or something swimming. But there's a sun with rays coming out of it. With the thing, actually, what it looked like for real, it looked like the Baphomet head, right? It looked like the Baphomet head, but not really because the Baphomet head got the 2 horns here, but this one has one coming up here, so it's clearly rays, right? So you have rays coming out of this sun, So the rays are in the form of like an X and a line down the middle. So the rays are coming from the sun like that, but the ray at the bottom down here, it extends longer down until it looks like this body of water, whatever it is under it. And that is or, and that means light. And the very last one, it's a circle within a square. Excuse me. There's a hollowed out X completely filling the circle going from one end to the other. And it's hollowed out, but the spaces around the X are darkened in, but not all the way. It looks like a bunch of little circles packed in tight, maybe like a bunch of cells, and they're hollowed out. So it looks like a bunch of circles you can color in all the spaces around the X. That's what it looks like. And that is Eosor, organized, i.e., the light and darkness were created and all things on the earth became organized. All right. And that is the book of Kadeth is explaining the chart of divinity. I'm sorry, explaining the divine seal plate on page 262, and it's plate 10. All right, where we at? 46 minutes. All right, so the next one, y'all, we're gonna be going through charts for the next couple days. All right, so this next one on page 539 is Fanis, and it's the 7th degree in the order of Israel. So maybe this one doesn't have a chart. I'm gonna just read this because it looks like it. Okay, so this looks like it's a conversation going back and forth between the master and the pupil. Okay, this is good. Fanis, page 539. Fanis, the 7th degree in the order of Israel. Master, who art thou? Pupil, a son of light. Behold the sign and emblem. And after emblem, his reference letter I. So let's hop to the end of the chapter. On page 572. I says, initiate here reads from top of first row of tablet downward. Initiate here reads from top of first row of tablet downward. Okay, so there's a tablet, 1882 edition. There is a tablet. Then the very next page, the tablet Fanis, plate 75. Okay, it said do what now? Let me go back. Initiate here reads from top of first row of tablet downward. Okay, because it's numbered. Okay. So it's if you go to page 540, let me show it to you. These are they look like quarter size circles, right? Each row is 5 across, 4 down. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 20. There's more than 20 verses here. Okay, so I guess we're gonna figure this out. Begin at 1 and read downward, then at 2, etc. Okay, so this is the tablet of Fanis. It's an order in Israel, right? Okay. I'll take a picture of these as well if y'all don't have it. All right. These are bigger and easier to see. Okay, so let's see if I can explain these. Okay, so this one looks like a person. The first one, he's turned, got his eyes covered. This maybe look like a microphone here. And maybe fire or hair or something coming from the head or maybe coming to the head, but the eyes are covered. And that's Master, who art thou? Pupil, a son of light. Behold the sign and emblem. What sawest thou in the light? The altar of Eolin. What was fashioned thereof? The altar of incense and altar fire rose up before me. The altar of incense and altar fire rose up before me. Okay, so that's what it was. The altar fire incense rose up. Okay, I can see that. I'm not exactly sure how these 20 go with these 47 verses. No, sorry, 56 verses. Okay, I'll go back and forth periodically. We're just going to read through all of this. Yeah. I'm going to just read through it. And y'all going to have to look at it and study it. Because it, like I said, it's 20 coins and there's 56 verses. And we already just about at the hour mark, and it'll probably take me a little while to figure out how it goes together. But I'm sure we'll figure it out. Okay, let's start over. Page 539. Master, who art thou? Pupil, a son of light. Behold the sign and emblem. What sawest thou in the light? The altar of Eolin. What was the fashion thereof? The altar of incense and altar fire rose up before me. The wind ascended, and the stars shone in the firmament. A tree grew by the battlement, and the black eagle crossed the southwest. In the midst stood the cross of Eolin, studded with pearls and diamonds. What more sawest thou? In the southeast floor of the temple, Satan, black with smoke of blood and war, demanded my surrender, and he drew forth the flaming sword. What didst thou? I said, I pray to none but the ever present Creator. In him I have faith. Thee I fear not. What next? I came to the Chamber of Industry, and I was taught a useful trade. After that, I traveled northwest and was honored for thy good work and love of peace, I suppose. Nay, master, I was confronted by a crowned king. And after crowned king is reference letter J. So real quick, let's hop back to page 572. J says, so it's going to tell me when to go. Okay. J, initiate here reads from top of second row of tablet downward. Okay, so all what we just read is in that first row. So flip to it real quick. Look at all of them, right? As you can see the second one, he said, what else did you see? I saw the cross. And then over in the corner, oh, the symbols. Oh, snap. Okay, so the symbols that we just read in the divine seal. Okay, we really got to take our time and go through this so we can get it. Okay, these symbols that I see, I recognize from the divine seal we just went through on page 262. Yeah, okay. Okay.
Mom.
Also, not just that one, but the tablet before that as well. Yes.
Josh, I'm trying to sleep over there. I didn't even
You want to go back to
I didn't even get to sleep.
Don't go back to sleep. Listen, you didn't get to sleep fully last night.
To go right back to sleep so he could not go.
Listen, today is a busy day, guys.
Mom,
What?
you can get the boys. Oh, you can easily get the boy Mickey Mouse ears.
We'll talk about that when we get there, but I need everybody to start getting a shower. All y'all got hair appointments today except for you. Yours is tomorrow. Y'all, come on. I need y'all not to be playing around. Go. Go. 10 o'clock is the first appointment. Let's go. Go.
Who's going first?
Bella going first. Okay, so let's go back. So the in here in the tablet of Fanis is a compilation. A lot of the, like I said, a lot of the signs, a lot of the symbols from the previous chart we just finished reading, and one of the ones that we read before, and I can see it inside of these. Okay, so inside of each coin, I'm gonna show you again. It's like a conglomerate of things going on. It's like a whole scene in each of the coins going on. Hold on, this is for Facebook, so you can see right there. YouTube. So it's a whole story going on in each of those coins. Okay. Okay, so Nay, master, I was confronted by a crowned king, and it says here, start at the top of the second column and go down. And it says, he bade me halt and ordered me to pray to the God he served. I remonstrated, saying, I only pray to the Great Spirit, trusting only in good works done unto all men. Thereupon he flew into a rage, saying, Thou art the worst of men. Thy soul shall feed the fires of hell. With that, he hurled a javelin at me. I escaped and traveled north and came to a country most rich and prosperous, where many Israelites had gone before me. Why didst thou not tarry there? I did for a season, but warriors came and possessed the land and drove the Israelites away. What next? I fled to the northeast and came amongst the savages, whereby I barely escaped. Hold on. I fled to the northeast and came amongst savages, where I barely escaped being slain and feasted upon. Which direction then? I traveled east and came into a country old in religion and philosophy. They had great riches for the rich and great poverty. They had great riches for the rich and great poverty for the poor. Their philosophers wasted their time in reading the ancients. Why didst thou not remain with them? I was too poor to live with the rich, and too ambitious to live with the poor, who were little better than the slaves. Whither next didst thou travel? Toward the north part of the middle kingdom, where I came amongst magicians and necromancers. What of them? They consulted the stars. And so here it has reference letter K, which I'm sure it says here, because I can see the stars at the top. It tell you now start at the top of the third row and go down. Okay. Initiate here reads from top of the third row of tablet downward, 1882 edition. Okay. Verse 27, page 540. They consulted the stars and the moon and the palms of their hands and called upon the spirits of the dead who did appear before them. There was no industry amongst them, and I could find no employment with them, neither did they assist one another. Where next? I went further south, where I came to an uninhabited country, the most favored under the sun. It was a place of joy and praise, filled with beautiful rivers, forests, plains, and valleys, and countless singing birds, all things raising up the ceaseless voice of glory to great Eolin. Here I sat down and wept. What? Wept so in fair a place? Alas, I remembered the crowded cities and warring empires. Here there were no people, and I could not live alone. So I traveled still further south, and certainly found a and certainly found a good place next. Alas me, the country was good, the climate warm, and all things grew abundantly without labor. And why not most excellent? Voluptuousness was an ocean for them to bathe in, and for all sins, their priests taught them that if before they died they called on Devas, son of the sun, son of the sun, son of the sun. Let me read it over. Voluptuousness was an ocean for them to bathe in, and for all sins, their priest taught them that if before they died they called on Devas, son of the sun and savior of men, they would ascend to the upper heavens on the third day after death. Not myself loving indolence nor lust, I departed out of that country. But that same philosophy is being taught in the church, right? With JC. Not the real one, right? I'm gonna start saying not the real one, but the created character of the New Testament, right? There is a real story for a gentleman who did live, right? Now I understand that there is but his name wasn't Jesus. Oahspe calls him Joshua, right? But there's a lot of differences with him and the JC of the New Testament. We're gonna get to it shortly. We're gonna get to it. Just hang in there. Listen, I'm gonna read verse 35 again. And why wasn't this city most excellent? Why didn't you stay here? And why not most excellent? Voluptuousness was an ocean for them to bathe in, and for all sins, their priests taught them that if before they died they called on Devas, son of the sun and savior of men, they would ascend to the upper heavens on the third day after death. not myself loving indolence nor lust, I departed out of that country. Whither next? Toward the southeast, coming into a land afflicted with priests, soldiers, and beggars. So I fled further east. And what then? I came to a small settlement of Israelites where I was received by warm hands, right? So here is a reference to letter I, which I'm sure it says because I see the hand at the top of 4. Key shalom. Okay, so at the top of column 4, there is a hand, right? What is this? Yeah, like this with the thumb down here. And so that, what did it say? L, that's L. L, initiate here reads from top of 4th row of tablet downward, 1882 edition. Okay, so we're at the 4th column with the coins. And it says, verse 39, page 541. I came to a small settlement of Israelites. And remember, let's not forget, what were the Israelites called in Oahspe? And it tells us Israelites were once called faithists, but when they moved to certain places, it changed from faithists to Israelites, right? Tikva, Grand Rising, sis. Gloria, good morning. Top of the day. Page 541, verse 39. I came to a small settlement of Israelites where I was received by warm hands. Here I prepared to settle down in peace during all my days. But the state soon became attractive by its places of learning and the beauty of the gardens and the glory of its manufactories. There being no idle people, nor beggars amongst us, the idolaters of Hema, savior of men, accused us falsely and then declared war on us, and with a powerful army marched upon us, taking all our possessions. I escaped and turned westward once more. Thy fate hath been hard. Why smilest thou? Because however hard hath been my fate, it is nothing to that which I saw had once befallen another people where I came next. Like, you thought you had it bad. This ain't it. We live a good life because it could be worse. Listen to this next story. He said, why you still smile with all this that you done suffered? You stay on the run. He said, why you still smile? He said, because I realize ain't nothing worse than the fate of the people that I came to next. Listen, let me tell you about them. What of them? This was a country once rich in ancient temples and monuments, but now ruined and desolate. Broken pyramids and colonnades, tumbling walls, and thorns and wolves, marked by the once habitable places of mighty kings and high priests. By the tablets on the moldering walls, I read that these people, in ancient times long past, were worshippers of idols and of gods who professed to save the souls of men. And I saw that their pride and glory lay in ships of war and mighty weapons of death. Having myself learned that the trade of a potter, I took up an ancient ruined pot and read this inscription on it. Because I am a faithist in the great spirit Eolin, I am enslaved by these idolaters. Alas, what is my crime? Most pitiful place. Whence then? I met a friend whose head had been compressed in infancy in order to make him a prophet, right? Remember that, right? They call them, their nickname is the flatheads. When they realized they didn't have the natural gift of prophecy that comes to those who serve the Great Spirit, they realized that they could induce prophecy. They could make prophets by taking a plate, starting with the infants, taking that plate and grooming them, pressing it down on their forehead until their head became molded in a flat state. But what it would do, it would push the skull back to the seat of the soul, the third eye or the pineal gland, and it would cut it on and it would induce prophecy. They could see, they could judge, and they could do it correctly, right? And they asked, why did the Great Spirit allow this to happen? He said he allowed it to happen. He suffered it to be done, although it was something cruel that was done to infants, like, and they literally grew up that way, right? He said he suffered it to be done because they are more ready to listen to their very own than they would to any of my people, any other faithists. So we'll let it be done so still truth can be given to them as well, so that they can grow and they can know that I am the great I am, right? Listen. Verse 44, page 441. I'm sorry, page 541, verse 44. Most pitiful place, whence then? I met a friend whose head had been compressed in infancy in order to make him a prophet. He took me into his private habitation and taught me how the brain and the nerves of flesh could be changed in infancy by pressure to make the grown up man of any character desired. Go ahead and highlight that. We just talked about it, but they explain it a little bit different here, which is the same thing. Hold on. Ooh, this is good. Listen. Okay. I met a friend whose head had been compressed in infancy in order to make him a prophet. He took me into his private habitation and taught me how the brain and nerves of flesh could be changed in infancy by pressure to make the grown up man of any character desired. Next, he taught me the monotony of sound that brings on the prophetic spell and the power to see the unseen, right? And we talked about that a little bit. Yes, I'm like, I would have slapped somebody. And people put themselves in trance with certain sounds. It's just a monotony, a repeating of sounds, right? Hmm. You know what? I just thought about something. I'm not sure that it falls into the same category, but I'm sure it's doggone close. You know how remember we was going through walk of the spirit, the walk of power, talking about praying in tongues, right? Whether it's chanting, that same thing will happen. It'll put you in a trance or it'll open your spiritual eyes, but it's just a monotonous repeating of sound. Now he said this way. Remember, because I told you if I pray in tongues at about the sixth hour, fifth or sixth hour, my spiritual gifts will literally turn on because it's a continuous long thing that's done. Now, the same thing will happen if you break it up and you do it over the period of days, right? Same thing happened with people chanting. It's the same thing. You call it chanting, praying in tongues, or whatever, but it's causing the same things to happen. It will literally pop open. It used to freak me out at first, so I started testing it a little bit further to see exactly what was happening. I could literally, when we was doing, me and my sister, we was doing the all-nighter prayers, we would start at midnight, we started the spooky hour, and we would end at 6, right? She'd be in her home, I'd be in my home, and I keep myself woke and praying in tongues, not just sitting there, but I cleaning the house, just praying, consciously praying in tongues. But as the time went, I could feel it's like this revving up. I could feel it beginning. And then when I get about to the fifth hour, into the fifth hour, close to the sixth hour, my spiritual eyes will like pop open. My spiritual ears will pop open. I could like see the day ahead coming. I can see the events of the very next day coming at that point, right? And I'm like, yo, hold up. And so it kind of scared me a little bit, but it didn't. I'm like, okay, so how do I keep this going all the time where I can walk? Yeah, right. Fritz Shalom says, like, or it's a vibrating that from within. So there is truth to all this. I know some people, we talked about it because going through my whole process, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't want to be speaking curses into my soul by praying in tongues. So I even went through that whole phase, like, oh my God, maybe we shouldn't be praying in tongues. I don't see them praying in tongues nowhere in the Old Testament in Torah. So I stopped for a season. But by that time, I had already had the experience of what happens when I pray in tongues. But there was a difference between me and some other people. Right now, what would happen to me is like, I would just say the things that would happen to me is like safe. Like I would see things and I could see the day. I could see different people's lives. Things were being shown to me. But some people do it, right? And I think here's what I think it is. I think it's the intentions of your heart. Some people do it. And some people, they end up like worse than what they did. Like, bro, you need to stop that. Like I even showed videos of people doing that, and they started doing like acting like they had like Tourette's and contorted. I'm like, holy crap! I don't want that to happen to me. And that's why I stopped when I started looking. I was like, hold on, something's wrong. But that ain't never happened to me. I can clearly tell. It's like I can hear clearer. But my intent by doing it was really to get closer to Yah, right? That was my true intent. Because in all that I do, I'm trying to grow on purpose. Father, help me, right? If this is a gift that I know this is what gets me here, I want to do it. But if this is the wrong way to get here, then I'm going to stop, which is why I stopped for a season. I told my sister, I like, drop, you better stop praying, stop. Just don't pray in tongues. We need to figure out what's going on, right? And so, I mean, I think it was good that I went through that process. And now I realize it's the intent, right? So it's almost, okay, perfect example. You know how in the New Testament, yeah, thank you, Fritz, pure heart, direction of prayer, spirit and truth. Yes, right? So my intent, my direction, like I was really had a pure heart and growing. So remember in the New Testament when who was it? Darn it. Anyway, the dudes, the seven sons of Sceva, right? They saw the works that the apostles was doing, you know, but according to the New Testament, what we was reading, they had pure hearts and they truly wanted to walk in the ways of the master, right? Which is why things was working for them. I was like, oh, we see that power. How can we get that power? And it was a couple. You also saw that. I saw that in a couple places, but this is the first one that popped up. But remember, he tried to go in there and use that same power. And then it said, well, Paul, I know, Jesus, I know, who are you? And got his tail toe off, right? So it's the intents of the heart. Some people want because, oh, it's magic. Give me the keys to the magic, let the magic work, right? People, where I think people get messed up for those who want it just because of the magic and the goodies that come along with it. They don't take the time to grow. Instead of just give me the cheat sheet. I want to be able to do that. How you do that? Here they go. Hum, boom, boom, boom. Whatever they saying or doing, they go in there and do it without walking through the process of growth and cleansing their heart and walking in purity, rectifying situations they didn't mess up. They go in there without doing their shadow work or the background work, cleaning up their lives, and they the ones that get caught up, get their tail tore off. Now they're looking crazy. They got to come down to the altar for deliverance. So now I'm like, okay, I'm getting this. I'm understanding this a little bit more and more, right? Okay, so I started saying all that, talking about the monotony of sound that brings on trance, right? So that does praying in tongues does fall in line with that, but it definitely has to do with the intentions and the purity of the heart and why you're doing it. You want to do it just so you can be seen, and you want to lay your hands on somebody and deliver them and let it be known that you are this great prophet or healer or deliverer, and you live like hell every other day of the week and in secret. No, this is not going to fare well for you, child. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Right? Just take my word, you don't want to go that route, right? They put in the work, right? And they're not seeking this. There's a difference. They're not seeking this because they're doing the work. It's gifts that's given to them. It literally just begins to follow their life. They didn't ask for any of it. It just happens for them because they walk the appropriate path, and it blooms on the inside of them, right? That's the difference. Okay, so let's go back. Page 541, verse 45. I met a friend whose head had been compressed in infancy in order to make him a prophet. He took me into his private habitation and taught me how the brain and nerves of flesh could be changed in infancy by pressure to make the grown up man of any character desired. Next, he taught me the monotony of sound that brings on the prophetic spell and the power to see the unseen, right? This is amazing. This I know to be true. Like if I hadn't, I'm glad I had all the spiritual experiences that I had before I even came across Oahspe, because it explains where nobody else could. The Bible, none of the preachers tell me without being super, like help me understand what is happening to me, right? Oahspe is helping me way more than anything else ever has up until this point in my life. Next, he taught me the monotony of sound that brings on the prophetic spell and the power to see the unseen. Thus did he expound the philosophy of miracles, even to dying and coming to life again. Wonderful philosophy. Wilt thou show me some of these miracles? I will, O master. Excuse me. I will, O master, but the secret of their workings I cannot show. The pupil exits. Next page. Verse 48. Is it true, O friend? Surely too thou hast taught this wisdom to the world. Nay, my teacher sent me south to a school of prophets where I learned the mysteries of invocation and prayer. For what purpose hast thou visited my temple? And here is reference letter M, which I'm sure is the last column. Let's just double check. M. M says, initiate here reads from top of the fifth row, fifth row tablet downward, 1882 edition. Yeah. Okay. So remember, the tablet is on page 540, fifth column, fifth row, which is the last one. All right, back on page 542, verse 50. For what purpose hast thou visited my temple? To make pots. What? With all thy wisdom? A useful employment is the highest service to the maker of all. Thou and thy people shall be my people, my harvest shall be thine, and my gardens and orchards. For he whose eye seen all is upon me, and I am his servant. There are three more chambers in my temple. The first preserveth the wisdom of the ancients. The second is the chamber of industry and inventions. And the third and last chamber are the secrets of the fullness of worship. The name of this chamber is Om, O-M, Om, because it is here the let me go back. In the third and last chamber are the secrets of the fullness of worship. The name of this chamber is Om, because it is here the recipients repose in spirit from all the cares of the earth. Signs and passwords and form of initiation withheld from this publication because the rites are still practiced. And that is the end of this tablet, y'all. This was good. And this was the Fanis, the seventh degree in the order of Israel. So we're going to pause right here. We're at an hour and 17 minutes, and we have to go today. I hope y'all enjoyed it. We're going to pick this back up tomorrow with Ehin, Aubrey, Pan, Algonquin, How to. Okay. And that's just like it's literally 2 verses full of a lot of names. All right. I hope y'all enjoyed it for today. Yeah, you're right, Tech. But the Buddhists do it too, right? They chant and they do. It's like getting into a trance. I've seen them do it. I've seen a lot of different religions and their particular praying in tongues or chanting, whatever they call it, and it does. It don't matter where you practice it or what you call it, it takes you to the same place. But if you're gonna do it, you had better make sure your heart is clean, or you on a path to cleaning it up. You seeking to be cleansed, walk in purity, holiness, and righteousness, and searching for the great spirit. That's what I would say. Otherwise, there are some things that you are not gonna like that you're gonna encounter. All right, y'all. It is Wednesday, the last day of the month of August, August 31st, 2022. We are at day 200, day 200 of year 4 of reading through the books of the law and the prophets, and of the 4-year consecutive day count, day 1218. We read pages 538 to 542. We read 2 tablets, which was Kadeth is and the Fanis, tablet of Fanis. All right, beautiful people. We'll get back at it tomorrow. I love y'all. And let's see. Y'all can also join in these prayers of praise too, right? I'll read some of y'all too, but I got to come up with my own. But if y'all got them, I'll read them. All right, so let's see. Based on what we read today, what did we learn? What praise could we give? What do we start with? You look though, look. I started the one I started with was Father, you are the you are the unseen power in the vortex, right? But this actually says something. Hold on. This says something in relation to my prayer of praise. Hold on. Right, verse 47, where it said right here, this kind of go with my prayer of praise. It says, in verse 46, wonderful philosophy, wilt thou show me some of these miracles? He said, I will, O master. And right here it says, but the secret of their workings I cannot show, right? That's the unseen power of the vortex, the unseen working of the wonderful things that we see here. That is our creator in action, right? Look, okay. So I guess it's just going to be kind of like what more of the one this morning. Father, we thank you that you are the unseen hands of all that happens here in this earth. Let us continue to experience and recognize your beauty and you working behind the scenes. Let us be able to recognize it so clearly that it's a no-brainer that, oh yeah, that's my dad. That's you. Yeah, that's y'all working. That's the Great Spirit. Let it be so clear to us that we can pinpoint the workings. Not that we necessarily understand the working, because we still can't fathom all that you are and all that you do. Shucks, we still trying to understand ourselves and what in the world going on down here on this plane. But help us to recognize you, no matter how the situation look. Help us to be able to recognize the lesson that you are trying to teach us. You are the great teacher. You are the master teacher, right? The greatest philosopher. Your philosophy is one that we make part of our lives. All right. That was mixed with a little bit of us, but y'all get the point, right? That the creator is the total source of all things seen and unseen. All right, beautiful people. That's it. I love y'all. I love y'all. I will see y'all back here tomorrow morning, bright and early, 7:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Come on, Tootie. Let's end it. We gotta get rolling.
I'm already ending.
Wait a minute, hold on. Hold on, before you press it.
Can I
Let
end
me
this
see
one,
something.
please?
Nope. Hold on.
No, it was 1 hour and 22 minutes and 20 seconds.
Wait, hold on. No, I needed to check this today. Cancel.
I'm ending this.
Exit. Hold on. Do it this way. Go ahead. End that. Nope. Exit.